Hello everybody, welcome back to the layout. As I mentioned in the previous video, one of the next steps I will be working on is the backdrop, and I'm planning to use the backdrop or reuse the backdrop from the current layout. So that means that before I can use it I have to dismantle most of the current layout. So that will be the first thing I'll be doing, and as you can see I've started removing the bridge over here, so it's put in a box. So I'll be storing all of this stuff in a safe place before I'll be reusing it. So let me continue with the dismantling of this layout, and I'll be showing you some updates. So 1.5 hours later, and it looks like this. I removed everything that I want to reuse, which was on the layout, and as you can see, one piece of the backdrop has been removed. But I had to remove all the tunnels and the mountain landscape on this side, so to get access to the backdrops. And this is all of the backdrop removed. So I'll be moving it downstairs to the new train room and see how I want to use it. What a mess. Alright, so I moved the backdrops to the new train room and temporarily placed them like this. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them like this, but as you can see I have enough backdrop for the new layout. So what I liked about this backdrop is mostly the corner here with the high mountains and the high peaks. So I'm thinking that this is how I had them together on the previous layout, and I'm thinking to keep it like that. So that means that this setup has to go like this in the corner. That also means that that side is too long, so I'll have to cut it. But over here I will have somewhere here I will have a scenic divider, where on this side you go into a mountainous landscape, and that side you go into like a city town type of landscape. And that also means that maybe on that side of the scene divider I will be getting rid of the mountains altogether, but that can be done afterwards. So I'm thinking to keep it, to set it up like this, where I have these mountains in the corner like I used to have, and then over here this piece in the corner is too short, so I can be reusing this piece over here in terms of length. That actually fits quite nicely, but as you can see there is a bit of color difference in the blue, and also the sort of the shadow side of the mountains is the wrong way around compared to that side. So on this side the sun is coming from over there, and on this board the sun is coming from the other side, more or less. So I will have to fix that. I'll have to do something with that. Not sure how I'm going to do that. So I can just cheat a bit and paint a large mountain that covers this area here, and then so I'll be masking the color difference over here, and then also sort of to mask the fact that the orientation of the mountains is sort of the wrong way around. Not sure yet, but let me zoom out a bit to show you what it looks like. So this is more or less what it looks like, what it will look like. So yeah, I think it will be nice. Alright, so while I'm working hard on the new layout, I'm also dismantling the old one. So here's a quick view on where I am. So as you can see, I've removed as good as everything from the layout. So the hatch has been removed for easy access. The tunnels have been removed. The tunnel portal over there didn't really survive. But the tunnel portal that was over there I could salvage, and so that I will be reusing. The other thing I will be reusing is the key walls that were here, and on the other side the key walls, I removed those as well, and I can reuse those as well. So what I did now also is remove all of the wiring that was under the layout. So removed all the point motors and all of the wiring which is in this box. So the bus wire I cannot really reuse, but some of the other wiring I can reuse. So that's where we are. Alright, so another update on the dismantling of the old layout. As you can see, I've removed the plywood on that side. So that's standing over here now, and I will be able to reuse this. And so next I'm going to remove the plywood on this side as well, but before doing that I need to remove the rest of the track first. So that will be the next step. So all the track has been removed, and I'm unscrewing the plywood now. And as you can see, it turned into a big mess. So I guess the most important lesson I learned is to have a layout that is set up, or that's built up out of modules, so that you can take it easily apart, and that's what I'm going to do with the new layout. But disassembling this one really shows it. Okay, and that is the second half of the plywood removed as well. So it's just a bare frame that I need to disassemble. So you can still see all the small blocks that I placed in different heights and different locations, indicating what a puzzle this part of the layout actually was. So yeah, so that's it. So essentially this layout consisted of three main frames, three modules if you like, but it was not modular. I had very many cross connections, different places. So that's definitely one of the things I try to do with the new layout, to make it modular, so that I can actually easily take it apart and move it somewhere else if necessary. So as you can see, one of the frames I've removed and put upside down, so I'm going to remove the legs, and then we'll do the same with the other two. So the part that's still standing is consisting of two frames. And this is the second frame being taken out. So I'm going to remove these legs as well. But looking at the frame, looking at the structure, I really have to laugh about myself. The dimensions I chose, looking at the sizes of the wood, it's just way over the top in terms of strength and dimensions. It's just far beyond what is needed for a model railroad. So it's really funny looking back. But when I put this together, I really had no idea. I just started and thought that this was appropriate, but it was just too much. But anyway, lesson learned. And so now we're continuing with the new layout, which definitely does not have the strength as this one, and it's really not needed. So again, lesson learned, and there we go. All right, so that is the entire layout disassembled. So room is empty, well, empty, sort of. Two of the frames are still here. The other frame, which was similar in size than this first one, I moved it downstairs. So I will take this frame and the other frame apart. But this frame here is 1.60 meters by 1.20 meters, and it's a really nice square frame, which I think I'm gonna keep as is, and I think I will be saving that for maybe doing a mini layout at some point in time. Maybe I'll try N-scale, a mini N-scale type of layout, you know, just for the fun of it, if I find time and motivation. But I think I'm going to keep this frame, so the back one, I'm going to keep this one. So there we have it, layout disassembled. So now I'll be continuing building up the new layout, which I'm very much looking forward to. So with the previous layout fully disassembled, it's time to move on and continue with the new layout, which I've done. As you can see, I have placed some uprights on the back side of the new framework, and those are supports for the backdrop. So it's very straightforward, nothing fancy, and yeah, I think this is more than sturdy enough. The frame will be placed in the corner against the wall, so it will sort of have a natural support anyway, but so the uprights, I think, are sturdy enough. And as you can see, I have put this additional ledge in place, and the backdrop will be placed on top of this, so it will be slightly higher than if I would have placed it directly on the baseboard. So this is about 4 centimeters. So I thought it would be nice to have it slightly higher. So yeah, so now I will be placing the backdrop against this and fix this in place. All right, so two pieces of the backboard are put in place. They are fixed, and the third one still needs to be done. The third one is lying over here. This third one has a little bit less thickness than the other pieces. So when I have them next to each other there and screw them together, I need to have the same thickness. So that's what I'm doing over here. So I'm adding the additional thickness that I need, so that on the front side they are level. So I'm gluing those two smaller pieces in place. so I have to wait for that to dry, but I couldn't continue anyway because the batteries of my tools were flat, so I need to charge them anyway. But so far things are looking good. Quite happy with this. Alright, so that's also the last piece of the backdrop in place. And as you can see, I pushed the layout back into the corner, so this will be its location. So no more moving around. So now as a next step I can start laying track. So just to show you the backdrop, there's some holes I need to fill in. I need to, as I explained, I need to paint more mountains here and yeah, change the color a bit so that it matches on either side. More holes to fill in, also there in the corner. But other than that, I'm really pleased with this. Alright, so I'm going to wrap up the video here. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.